Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Hello, Empowered family. I am so excited to be with you guys today because for the last month, we have been doing a Protect Your Energy series, and I had a poll where I asked you all, would you like me to continue the series for the next month and give you actionable steps broken up per week, or push me out of my comfort zone to host my first masterclass where we did it together live? And the overwhelming vote was to do it live. So that will be what's happening instead. And that means that we are going to get back to regular scheduled programming. Today, is that the regularly scheduled programming? The regularly scheduled program? I don't know. We are back to me being me and myself today and just kind of flowing with what comes to mind and what I want to talk about. And first, I want to take a second to say, if you did not listen to that series, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I have been having so many people reaching out about how impactful it was. So certainly go take a look at that. And again, if you have not signed up for my course, which is a pre-recorded, self-paced course, all about, it's super, super comprehensive, all about how to protect your energy as either an energy worker or someone who's an empath or someone who just works really closely with other people. Think coach, teacher, nurse, any type of first responder, a hairdresser, a personal trainer, massage therapist, counselor, anyone who works closely with people. And just anyone who is alive needs to protect your energy. We all need to have energetic boundaries set up for ourselves. So such a good course, so worth the $99. And there's actually a 10% discount code in the show notes if you would like to take advantage of that. So today, what are we going to talk about? I have been working closely with my mentor, Danielle McCleary. One of the things that has been coming up for both myself and my personal life coaching clients too, which is so interesting that we're kind of going through similar things at the same time, which tells me that the collective is in this like path together. We're up leveling, we're releasing the things that are no longer serving us. We're shedding the old versions of ourselves. We are all doing the work, right? We're in it together. And I always say that. And it's such a powerful reminder that we truly are. And this is why it's so important for you to get a coach, for you to have a mentor as you navigate your own stuff, because we all have things to navigate. And it is so much easier, faster, quicker, a little less painful if we have someone being our mirror and guiding us through the process than doing it on our own. And so one thing that's really been coming up is as I acknowledge these identity shifts that need to happen, it's a reminder that, and I'll probably dive into this part in the next episode, but like you can't have the old you and the new you with both of them having their feet on the gas. You're going to go nowhere. And that is hard and that's painful and that's frustrating and that's traumatizing and all of the things. You just can't have both. And so as we go through this process of rewiring our thought patterns, our beliefs, our morals, our values, our actions, our behaviors, our thoughts, our words, as we work through these things that we need to, as we unpack the trauma and look at the pain, look at the grief, release it from our body, release these trapped, heavy, dense, negative energy residues that have been left in our bodies from past traumas. As we do that, which is amazing, that's how we step into our most abundant self. That's how we step into the life that we want to live. That's how we step into and embody the versions of ourselves that we want to be. That's great, but it seriously triggers our ego. And our ego is here to keep us safe Like ideally, that's all it wants to do is keep us safe, but keeping us safe means staying in the same box we've been in. That means staying in the patterns and the loops and the relationships and the mindsets that we have been. And if we want different, then we have to release these, change these, reprogram these, because you cannot become who you want to be by being who you've been. It's truly not possible. And so in triggering our ego, which essentially is like our wounded inner child, because our ego is the past. Our ego is the part of our brains that only knows the past. It only knows the situations we've been in. It only knows the hurts we've experienced. It only knows the past version of you. That means it wants to keep you there. It wants to keep you in the past where you've at least survived up to this point. It might not be great, but you've at least survived to this point. And that's not helping us to become that version of us that we want to be. So we need to stop living in the past, because if you live in the past, that is what leads to, like, being in the past keeps us trapped, keeps us in depressive thoughts. When you what's the word I'm looking for? When you just focus on the things that you've been through and get stuck in the past, it's harming you, because you cannot change the past. It's impossible. And when you focus on the future all the time, that ramps up your anxiety. You're stressed over the way that's going to pan out. How do I control the future? You cannot control the future, and you cannot control how it pans out. You can make better thoughts or better choices. You can change the way you think. You can change the way you carry yourself. You can change the way you, or the people you hang around. You can change your behaviors, which will affect your future, but you do not get to decide exactly how it pans out. So you need to surrender to the now moment. The only control we have over is this now moment. The more we focus in this now moment, the easier it all becomes, the more stressful it all becomes. And so diving into this a little more, what does, let's say, okay, in the now, actually, the now version of ourselves, this is where our higher self exists. And our higher self is essentially the soul aspect of ourself who is all knowing. It's the bridge between ourself and source creator God. That is the connection. The part of yourself who has experienced it all, who does know it all, who is the version of yourself you desire to be and more. Like, your higher self is that soul aspect of yourself that is all knowing. And so we want to align ourselves more with the higher self version of us, the one of the part of us who lives in the now. And so when you're making decisions, or when you're processing things, or when things come up in life, how do you decipher the voice of your higher self and the voice of your ego? We're going to talk a bit about that. When you are making decisions or experiencing emotions, feelings, things that are coming up for you as you reprogram, as you create this new you, the voice of our ego feels panicky. The voice of our ego feels scared. It feels fearful. It's a really great storyteller. It will tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do the thing that's going to better you, why you should stay in the box, why you should listen to society, why you should do the things that you've always done. It's scared. It wants to keep you safe. It's not bad. Remember, I look at it as your inner child, the wounded inner child who is scared. Now there's the higher self version of us who is all knowing, who is the part of us that we desire to be. And when the higher self is communicating with you through your intuition, it's calm, it's neutral, it's not freaking out. It just knows. It's that calm inner knowing. It's that feeling of this is right, even if it doesn't make sense. It's that you know everything's going to be okay, even if it doesn't align currently with the reality that you're experiencing in this now moment. You just know that that's what you need to do. It's like, I don't know why, but I know this is what I need to do. I don't know what it is about this person, but I know something's not right, or I know that they're in alignment with me. It's this does not match up with what I'm experiencing right now, but it feels right anyhow. Versus, again, the panicky version coming from the ego, which is, no, wait, we can't do that because what are people going to think of me? Or no, wait, we shouldn't do this because I don't know where my money's going to come from. And like, if I invest into this, then how are we going to pay our bills? Or it's, well, I can't leave this person because if I leave this person, no one else is going to love me. At least I know they love me, even if they treat me like crap. Do you hear the difference? You can also feel the difference. That is how you discern between the two, the calm, neutral, knowing, or the ramped up, I don't know, everything's, this is scary. I don't know what's going to happen. Like it's just discerning between those two. And so now when these things are coming up for you, how do you walk yourself through that? How do you calm your ego when it's freaking out because you're becoming this new version of yourself, or you're making the scary decision, or you're jumping and investing in yourself for a program or a coach or whatever, or you're deciding like, I need to leave this relationship or this situation or this job because it no longer brings me joy and it's holding me back. I'm suffocating, whatever it is. How do you do that? I look at that voice and I talk to that voice as if it is the little me as a child. And you tell yourself, I am safe. I know that you're scared, but I am in control now. You don't need to panic. We are going to be safe. It is going to be okay. I've got us. Like that child who's in the driver's seat isn't meant to be in the driver's seat. They're a child. So you need to calm your nervous system, and you need to remember that you're safe so that you can move forward with listening to your intuition, the higher self-guidance, which is going to get you to the place that you desire to be. And so a tool that I want to give you, if you are able to pull yourself from, like, if it's a decision that needs to be made and you have some time to think about it, and it's not like this is life or death, like I need to make a decision right now, that's different. Your ego's keeping you safe for a reason. Like if you're running from a bear, you need to run from a bear, right? If you're about to careen off a cliff, you need to listen to that ego who's going to keep you safe. It's there for a reason. Your higher self and your ego both serve very valid purposes. So what I do though, when you have the time to make a decision about leaving the relationship or leaving the job, and you want to mull it over instead of making a rash decision based on emotion, you want to sit with it. And what I do to calm my nervous system is breath work. I'm going to just share with you a really easy tool that you can do. Close your eyes and do box breathing. What is box breathing? You're going to breathe in through your nose for a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, breathe out for a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, breathing in for a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, breathing out for a 4 count, hold for a 4 count. This is something that military is trained with. This is something that shamanic healers and medicine people use to like connect with your higher self, calm your nervous system, relax, clear your nervous system. When you're ramped up, when you're coming from ego, it sends your central nervous system into fight or flight mode. And that ramps up all of these hormones and all of these things for you to survive running from the bear, which you're likely not running from a bear. So we need to calm that down. It serves its purpose, but we tend to get trapped in having our central nervous system ramped up and having that fight or flight on, and having our cortisol levels flying through the roof. And you don't want to be stuck in having that happen all the time. It's so bad for you. That's what I mean when I talk about having a calmed and healed nervous system, where your body is able to say, hey, we are safe. So we're going to flip into fight or flight mode when we need it. But at our base state, we are calm. At our base state, we are resting and rejuvenating and re-energizing and breathing and calming. So when you feel yourself ramping up, do this box breathing. This is going to calm your central nervous system. It's going to clear your mind. And then you're able to connect directly to the higher self, who is going to give you the neutral, most aligned, intuitive guidance. Okay. So I'm going to share for today just really some tips and tricks as you navigate becoming this version of yourself that you desire to be, as you navigate leaving the relationships, as you navigate asking for the raise, leaving the job, starting the business, cutting off friends, finding new friends, moving to a new city, taking a bet on the new relationship, whatever it is, you want to move out of the ego and into connection with the higher self. So I hope these things help. Sending you love. I hope you have the best day and the best week. And I will see you next time on the Empowered with Deanna Merlino podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.